Good morning, and welcome to Chapel Chat. I am Pastor Kevin Little, and this is the sanctuary at the Fisher United Methodist Church. Last week's Chapel Chat focused on drama in the beer and entertainment industry, and it actually then created some drama in my own life. Someone saw the video and was offended and started bombarding the church Facebook page with anti-trans, anti-woke, and anti-vaccination statements, memes, and links. I finally had to block the user, which is something I really don't like to do. I'm fine with people not agreeing with what I say. Believe me, I'm used to people not agreeing with me. But there's never a reason to not be polite and respectful in the process. So with that in mind, our topic today is just simply wokeness. I was talking to someone last week about the response to that chat, and they asked, what does woke even mean? So if you're in that camp and are tired of the word but don't really know what's happening, here you go. It started a few years back in response to public issues, mostly revolving around racism at the time. It simply means being awakened to a new awareness of what's happening in the world around us. The implication is that some or even most people tend to be asleep regarding some issues and need to wake up. It soon became a blanket word for all social activism type things. And depending on which side of the political spectrum you lean towards, this is either something that is good or something that is bad. So here's an example. I was involved in a conversation yesterday about the struggles of women pastors and how they are treated by congregations when compared to the way men are treated. Now, I have never been a woman and therefore have never been a woman pastor. So it would be very easy for me to have a very limited awareness of this issue. But my wife is a woman and a pastor, and I have witnessed firsthand some of the things that she has experienced, which I have never been subjected to as a male pastor. I have learned about this and have worked to include it in my understanding of the world. Therefore, I approach it from a woke perspective. There's nothing wrong with this. It shows growth as a person. I was in a different conversation with another friend yesterday who has very different political leanings than I do. We're still friends. Weird, what a concept, right? He said to me, I'm so tired of all this woke stuff. And this was in regard to last week's chapel chat and specifically discussions about human sexuality. For him, marriage is something between a man and a woman which affirms his worldview and is in line with his understanding of Scripture and the act of creation. Awesome. Have that view. And then we proceeded to have a rational and respectful conversation about the topic. In some circles, even being willing to listen to my perspective and respect it would make him woke, or on the path to being woke. Now, which is better? Being proudly asleep regarding the issues of our world and the people within it, or waking up and learning something new about our fellow man? What about from a church perspective? Last week, one of the responses from the agitated individual was that the United Methodist Church was woke. The Methodist movement, as started by John Wesley, has always been woke. There's always been a strong concern for social justice and well-being in the Methodist Church. We found hospitals and orphanages around the world. We worked side by side with people to make the world better. We were strongly anti-slavery until that topic became too hot for pastors in the South, and then we got real quiet about it. And then when it was safe again, we woke up about slavery and went back to our anti-slavery roots. We haven't always gotten it right, but we've always been woke. Our Book of Discipline, which is the defining document for the United Methodist Church, features an entire section, which is regularly updated, on our social principles as a denomination. It talks about the church's official position on everything from slavery, pornography, how we treat immigrants, marriage, equality, and human sexuality, to abortion, you name it. Whatever the topic is, we've probably got a few paragraphs stating our official position. It's all out there for the public to see, and most of it would be considered woke in some way today. What about Jesus? For his time and within his context, Jesus was extremely woke by the current use of the word. His entire mission was to wake people up to a new way of looking at the world and their faith. Take care of the poor. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Don't get divorced. Pay your taxes. All of those things were hot button topics at the time, and some of them even still. And Jesus was pushing for social improvement and change. The question then really becomes, can you really be a Christian and not consider the needs and perspectives of the people around us? That doesn't mean change your mind. I'm not saying that everyone has to agree about everything, but it doesn't hurt anything to at least hear someone out and consider their perspective. One last thought. In all of my conversations with friends that I have across the spectrum of human sexuality, none of them have tried to force me to change. I've never spoken with a gay man who said men shouldn't be allowed to marry women. I've not spoken to anyone who says everybody should be trans. Yet, I continually hear people in person and on TV who are anti-wokeness say that the only right way is their way, and that marriage should only be the way that they think it should be. Why is that? Nobody's telling you that you have to marry a guy, or that if you're a woman that you have to marry another woman. Who you marry doesn't involve them any more than who they marry involves you. If God really has a problem with whatever topic we're talking about, Jesus is going to pass that judgment. The Bible clearly states that one. Judgment isn't ours. We, on the other hand, are also very clearly called to love everyone and treat people as we would want to be treated ourselves. So think about that the next time you think about challenging someone's freedom on a topic that you personally enjoy freedom in. Thanks for joining me for another Chapel Chat. Have a great week.